Hi, Assalamu alaikum. In this video we will understand about the metabolic problem of the mitochondria and how to fix that. This is the important topic we should need to understand. So what is the mitochondria? First of all, we will understand about that. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, able to generate the ATP through aerobic respiration. So the basically is the mitochondria will produce the ATP from the using of the oxygen. So mitochondria even produce the reactive oxygen species via aerobic respiration. In this way, the oxidative phosphorylation will lead to produce the reactive oxygen species. But the damaged mitochondria will lead to basically the metabolic disorder of the mitochondria we are understanding, and in this way the Warburg effect is very important to understand. In this the electron transport chain of the mitochondria will lead to not produce the ATP from the aerobic respiration, but the mitochondria produce ATP from the anaerobic respiration. How it is possible? Let's understand about that. So first of all, we will understand about the Warburg effect. In this way, the glucose will enter into the cell. When enter into the cell, the glycolysis will trigger. In this way, the glycolysis will trigger to produce more ATP, and the glycolysis will increase and increase because the oxygen is not preferring. So the aerobic respiration is not going on. And in this way, the glucose will metabolize through glycolysis, will lead to increase the ATP more. And in this way, the basically lactic dehydrogenase enzyme, which that is basically activate, lead to lactic acid fermentation, is known as the ancient fermentation, because the past time the oxygen level was low as compared to the current time, and in this way that fermentation is important for the past time, but in this current time is not important. In this way, the mitochondria will produce more and more ATP from the lactic acid fermentation and the NADH also. But in this case, the other mitochondria not allowed to enter the pyruvate, because the pyruvate is important for the production of ATP, but the pyruvate will convert into the lactic acid fermentation, lactic acid. In this way, the pyruvate will not available for the mitochondria, so the aerobic respiration will not occur, because the aerobic respiration is occurred due to the pyruvate from the production in the Krebs cycle to produce NADH, and the electron transport chain occur due to the NADH. So in this way, the electron transport chain not work. And in this way, basically, glutamine, which that is also the amino acid, produce more and more ATP from the Krebs cycle. So in this way, the more ATP produced from the anaerobic respiration is 80%, while the 20% from the aerobic respiration, minor amount of the ATP released from the aerobic respiration, because the mitochondria is not working well. And in this way, it is damaged mitochondria, and that cell is contain a damaged mitochondrial cell. And in this way, the oxygen is not present, and in this way, the hypoxic condition will arise. The hypoxic condition and the increase of the ATP and the hypoxic condition, remember, the increase of the ATP will inhibit the PGC1 alpha. Why inhibit the PGC1 alpha? Because the PGC1 alpha is important to trigger the biogenesis of mitochondria during the starvation mode, when the ATP will deprive. But the ATP is working well and increase 80% produced from the anaerobic respiration. And in this way, the PGC1 alpha will inhibit, while the hypoxic condition will trigger the HIF1 alpha, hypoxic inducible factor 1 alpha. And in this way, the hypoxic inducible factor 1 alpha will trigger and activate the certain gene, which that is important for the glycolysis and important for the other function of the mitochondria. And the HIF-1 alpha also increase the glut channel to allow the glucose move inside. And when glucose will move inside, in this way, the increase of the glycolysis will occur. HIF-1 alpha also inhibit the PGC1 alpha, while it will trigger the mTOR pathway because the availability of the ATP will more. In this way, the cell survive and proliferate as well as differentiate to become a cancer cell, because the abnormality in the cell will lead to cause cancer. So the DNA of the mitochondria is the major problem will lead to cause cancer. So this is a metabolic therapy. We will understand how to reverse the damaged mitochondria into the healthy mitochondria. That is our target to understand. So let's understand about that. In this way, the more aerobic respiration, more aerobic exercise will lead to allow and impede the oxygen to the mitochondria for function well. This is the number one thing. And number two thing is that the ketogenic diet. The ketogenic diet is very important. In this way, the fat containing diet, so the free fatty acid and basically the free fatty acid will enter well into the mitochondria. So it requires the oxygen for the further respiration and further production of ATP. But the damaged mitochondria are not allowed to influx of the free fatty acid, and the cancer containing cell damaged mitochondria will not prefer the free fatty acid, and in this way the free fatty acid not work. So in this way, the damaged mitochondria, basically the ketogenic diet, when you will not intake the glucose, so the glucose metabolism will inhibit because the glucose deficiency. In this way, the basically the free fatty acid will move for the healthy cell to produce more ATP, and in this way the oxygen level will require more, and in this way the oxygen level should be increased. And the ketogenic diet also the antioxidant, the omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acid, which that also deposit the other vitamin like vitamin D, vitamin E and vitamin A, which that is antioxidant property. But in this way the damaged mitochondria will not find the glucose, and the glucose increase due to the HIF-1 alpha, but in this way the hypoxic condition containing tumor cell will be damaged and apaptosis because the deficiency of ATP, and in this way the PGC1 alpha will lead to correct the mitochondria if the unhealthy in the tumor cell, while if the mitochondria unable to correct and unable to repair and unable to biogenesis due to the PGC1 alpha, due to the deficiency of the ATP, due to the less intake of the glucose, and in this way the if the repair will not occur, so the whole cell will be apoptosed due to the Bax protein will bind due to the activation by the starvation mode, and in this way the Bax protein will leak the cytochrome C, and in this way the cytochrome C will outflux into the cytoplasm, and in this way the cytochrome C basically will lead to leak the mitochondria, and in this way the mitochondria, the cascade of phosphorylation, the cascade phosphorylation will lead to whole mitochondria and whole cell will apoptosis, and in this way damaged mitochondrial cell will recycle, and that protein again used for the healthy cell. And in this way the ketogenic diet as a metabolic therapy for the cancer prevention is very important. But the glutamine metabolism can be inhibited via a drug, the DON, and in this way basically the drug will inhibit the glutamine metabolism, and in this way the whole process will be disrupted, while the aerobic respiration will prefer for those mitochondria which that able to consume the free fatty acid by the using of oxygen as a aerobic respiration to produce more ATP. And that is the Warburg effect, and in this way the metabolic therapy for the cancer inhibition can be possible due to the correction of the mitochondria. Because the mitochondria is the metabolic organelle which that is able to produce more ATP. So remember, the fasting, exercise and the ketogenic diet. Three things is very important, and the fourth is the antioxidant containing diet like CoQ10 enzyme, or on the other hand the antioxidant vitamin is important, and free fatty acid containing the omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acid is important for the normal physiology of the mitochondria. I hope you make sense about that. If you like my video, please make sure to subscribe, like and share. See you in the next video, and we will also understand about the mitochondrial health in the next video. So if you like this video, please make sure to subscribe, like and share. See you in the next video. For this time, bye. Allah Hafiz.